Well, souls, welcome. Welcome back or welcome to The Hawk. And my name is Lana Zelinsky, and I work in the spirit dimensions. As always, in all my videos or all my live feeds, simply take what resonates, and you're welcome to leave the rest right here. How are we? Happy Monday and good morning or afternoon, wherever you are in this beautiful universe. I am grateful to be here with the energy update for the week. It's going to be a very gentle week. There's a sweetness that I talked about last week about with June, and the energy update for the week is definitely in alignment with the sweetness, depending on what end you grab, depending on the energy that you grab. And as always, it's we do have to align with what we want and what we don't want. And one thing that came up for me in my meditation this morning was this sweetness of heart and mind energy coming into balance, coming in together to work together. Now, some of us spend too much time in our head and not enough time in our heart. Some of us spend too much time in our heart and no time in our head. So the energy this week is bringing that into balance, bringing that into. Can you guys hear me? Okay. I got somebody saying that they cannot hear me. Can anybody hear? Can you guys just give me a heads up if you can hear me okay? Yes. Okay. Thank you very much. I appreciate that. Thanks for letting me know that. So let me just get back into my notes and then I'm going to grab some questions this morning. I'm going to spend a little bit of time with you guys this morning and answer some questions, but I just wanted to get the channeling done first. So with our heart and head energy, that is coming into harmony. That is coming into a balance. We do have to use our logical mind sometimes, absolutely. We also have to go into the heart space, and both areas are asking to work together this week. So those of us who are big feelers, the volume is going to be turned up on that. And of those of us who are big overthinkers, that's going to be turned up this week. But what the learning is coming into bringing both heart and mind into alignment with each other. There's going to be a feeling of wanting to express how you feel. There's going to be moments this week where we're going to be really thinking about new things and being creative and coming into that space of working with both. And when I first heard that from spirit, I was like, ooh, and that is a glorious space to kind of bring into balance and to work together. A little bit less oversharing, a little bit more with the feelings, and bringing that into the balance space of working together. Now, a few things with the heart space, and this is how I felt. I really felt us becoming more and more aware of the love that is around us, our love language, how we truly feel. And if that's a new space for you to tap into, it almost felt like putting your toe in the water, when it's really cold and you pull it out. That's how it kind of felt. So, depending on where you are in your heart and in your mind space, if you're a person that struggles with feelings, you're going to feel a lot this week. If you're a person that's really in their head a lot, you're going to feel pulled to go into your heart space and bring the two together. Those of you who have been creating or manifesting new things to come your way, this is the week that's going to be presenting itself to you. Now, what Spirit said is allow the presentation. Sometimes things come at us, and if it's not perfect, we step back. Allow the imperfections to be part of what's going to drive you to be more creative. Allow what you didn't expect to motivate you rather than step back. Allow that motivation. There's also a lot of clear mindedness coming in this week with this clear headspace, with this stronger sense of knowing, with this stronger sense of, I really want to do that. I really want to speak to that person. I really want to heal that. There's a lot of clearness coming in this week, and it feels so delicious. I just got to turn my page over here. The other thing that I want to come back to and talk a bit more about is love language. And the love language is going to be expansive, not into just intimate relationships, but into friendships, into relationship with yourself. Don't be surprised if your love language is louder this week, or if it changes this week. You may be like, oh, I really feel I need this. I really need, some more self-care, or I really want to tell this person how I'm truly feeling. And that communication piece that we struggled with last week with the whole communication, because last week was a big communication week. And I feel that we have navigated through that, and that clarity on how we feel and that love language is coming into a balance. And it's a delicious delicious. It's a delicious space to be in. And also with that clarity, it feels like hard no to things. So if you get a hard no, go at it with a loving space. I really, nope. But answer that with that note from the heart space. Being able to communicate how we feel is going to be on the forefront. Now, remember what I said earlier in the live, it's going to depend on how you navigate through certain things. If feelings are a big thing for you, you're going to be asked to go in there. So it may come at you with a little bit of overwhelm or a little bit of fear of not being able to share how you feel. It's going to be a week of embracing that. It's going to be a week of embracing your own weirdness and shining bright. We should always shy away from how we really feel, right? Sometimes we try to sugarcoat it, we try to downplay it, we try to overthink it, and those feelings are going to be wanting to be heard this week. And I love that. So I want to talk a little bit more about how to balance that heart and that head energy. How do we listen to both? How do we balance that? Now, as I always say, I don't hold all the answers. I can just share what, from my perspective, I can just share on what works for me. Feel free to tweak it any way that you want. But the greatest way to get there is sitting in meditation or just sitting quietly with your feelings without so much stimulation. We're so overstimulated here in the physical world. The biggest culprit will be this, yeah, or social media. Take some time to either just sit with the feeling, sit with the thoughts, journal a little bit, do some automatic writing or just simply some journaling. Allow yourself to have that time to sift and sort and feel and acknowledge. And it may simply just come down to sitting with it, feeling it, and allowing it to come and go. Allowing yourself to both feel it, think it, and moving it through our physical bodies and allowing. Now, those for some of us, we are going to experience some headaches this week, and it's a bit of an energy that we're holding too much in our head. So if you start getting like the random headaches, if headaches are not new for you, just kind of or if headaches are new for you, sorry, kind of pause for a minute and say, is am I spending too much time in the noggin? Am I spending too much time overthinking it? And just sit with the heart, come back into the heart. If you're finding that the emotions are where you're really pulled and you're feeling them and you want to push them aside, sit in meditation, sit with your spirit guides, and allow yourself to be acknowledged with those feelings. Many of us, or many times, we push them away, right? I don't want to feel that. I don't want to feel that. Allow yourself to have those moments, and you will find that the head and heart are going to work together in this really unique harmony. It really felt like a unique harmony for me. And I had my own moments in meditation this morning with the channeling with is like the a bit parts of this is even going to be new for me. Parts of this I don't think my heart and head is always in balance. Do I work on it? Yeah, but not at this next level. This feels like a next level heart space harmony working together. And literally that song, working in perfect harmony, was playing in my mind as I was meditating. I was like, and bringing ourselves into that harmony, bringing ourselves into that space, bringing ourselves into that head heart balance. Because, we do have to have logic, we do have to have heart space, and we do have to remain open to having both working together. I'm loving it. I'm telling you right now, I am going to be tapping into my own, my own rituals and my own way of feeling through this and bringing both together and coming up with a way to be able to bring both into a better harmony. And and I've said this 1,000 times, I don't believe in a ceiling. There is no ceiling on me. There is no ceiling on you. I truly don't feel when it comes to spirituality that we reach this maximum of, I'm perfect. I'm perfect alignment. It's something that we're always working on. So for me, being able to have this channeling this morning, just brought me a lot of excitement because it's something new that I can work on, or tighten it up, right? Just kind of like working on a little bit more or a little bit more, and expressing feelings. Expressing our feelings can be a difficult one. It truly can be a difficult one. So I hope that this resonates with you. I hope you're excited as I am to be able to work in that balance of head and heart harmony. And it is very exciting. It is exciting to work on things. It is exciting to grow forward. It is exciting to learn, right? It's the learning for me just is such a delicious vibration. Anyway, I know I'm extra animated and extra excited this morning, and it's because of this channeling. It just clicked for me, a little bit more and a little bit more. All right, let's scroll up to the top and have a read. Look at all you guys. Bless your hearts. How was my weekend? My weekend was absolutely delicious, Kayla. Thank you very much for asking me that. Busy, but in a very delicious way. And yesterday I was at a new farm, and I met some new animal friends and some new human friends, and had an incredible experience. I love animal communication so much. It just brought me a lot of joy, and it was a great way to spend a rainy Sunday in a barn, chatting with the animals and having a glorious time. And then the rest of my weekend was in balance with sports and activities, some chores. I did do a big purge and some cleanup. Probably more purging needs to happen, but I did an energetic purge as well. Some old stuff needed to go. So it was great. Horizon Phoenix, good morning, everyone from vacation at Clearwater, Florida. Enjoy. I hear Florida is really, really hot right now, so enjoy that warmth and the air there. Good to see. Look at all of you guys. I'm more head than heart. Spring, I think, and good for you for acknowledging that and being able to acknowledge that maybe there needs to be a bit of a balance there. And I think that's something that we all need to work on. Rachel, hi all. Lovely to catch you all. I can hear just fine positive wishes to start the week. Thank you very much, Rachel. We're grateful for that. Look at you guys this morning. Bianca, good morning. Messages from my guides. First of all, Bianca, I need to acknowledge that there has been a big shift within you that I feel I need to say good for you. And I feel it's coming with a lot of healing and a lot of releasing. And it can just be old thoughts, old programming, or just simply chucking it in the bucket. I feel like I've got a thumbs up you on that. So well done there. Laura, is there anything from spirit guides for me, Lana, in regards to family and romantic relationships? So Laura, when I lean in there, I feel like a slow moving river. I feel like I have to kind of tap into, with a river, parts of it can move really fast, parts of it can move really slow, and then I can see like the stillness of water. I feel like I've got to talk about going with the flow and allowing. I feel like I've got to gently remind you that everybody is in their own lane, and I just got to kind of like very gently push everybody into their own lane. So I don't know, there's been some lane crisscrossings there, Laura, but I need to kind of say, everybody in their own lane. Romantic relationships, I really have to emphasize and turn up the volume again with the heart space and your love language and allowing. So I don't know if you hold, actually, I do know, I feel that. I feel that you pinch yourself off a little bit with not allowing all of you. So I need to bring all of you in. I need to bring all of you and kind of embracing all of you and allowing all of you to be seen. Sometimes we hold back and just letting a little piece of us be seen. And I feel like I got to say, shine bright, just kind of like Care Bear stare out to the world and say, here I am. And I feel that with relationships and growth, sometimes relationships are very slow moving and slow growing. Enjoy that. Enjoy the slow pace. Sometimes the snail pace feels so good. And sometimes the fast pace feels so good. And I've got to get you to enjoy where you are. Enjoy where you are is really, really big right now for you there, Laura. Joy, I was just writing about that in my journal. Oh, I love that so much. PJ, Lana, did I have visitations as a child? If you feel this curious, was it just plain old aliens or star family? So children are very connected to the spirit dimensions. Each and every one of us came here as a little person, very connected. And as children, we often have incredible experiences. Sometimes adults in our life may just write it off as imagination. Sometimes it is imagination, but most times it's our memory and our ability to connect. And I feel, PJ, that I need to say to you, you've always had that ability to connect, and you still do. And I don't feel like that was your imagination. And I lean more into soul family. I lean more into this, like into the ancestors, into soul contracts, into that kind of energy. And I also feel a spiking interest with it within you with that topic. Um, all right. Matriarch astrology. Good morning, Lana. My husband wants to move to Alabama. Any insight from spirit on this? I love a home in nature and getting more of a homestead vibe. I will join you on the homestead vibe. I would love to have a bigger piece of property. I'm grateful for what I have, but I would love to have more of a homestead property. I also have very, 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 very generous friends that have their door open for me, that have homestead properties, that I visit quite frequently and just enjoy that sharing. I also feel that that is a powerful. I want to talk about that. Because spirit is like, talk about that, talk about that. I feel that, and I'm very, 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 very grateful for the people that share with me. I've got people that share their cottages with me, people that share their farms with me, people that share. And I think that that sharing is huge. And I think that we need to do more of that. I think that what we need to kind of like open our doors and open our hearts to people and share. And it's such a glorious space. As far as Alabama, I feel like that's a choice and free will thing. Alabama for you has a very connecting energy. I feel like both of you will connect there. I also feel though, a little bit, and you may be feeling this, matriarch, is I just feel a little bit of a miss with the timing. So I kind of have to allow that to kind of line up. I also have to say to you, take your time. Really take your time, feel into it. I don't feel it as a quick move. Okay, we're going to Alabama, pack up. I don't feel that. I feel it as like a preparing, as a like a kind of like a, we're ready. Let's start planning. Let's start manifesting. Let's start. And I feel that when it's done that way, I feel that it goes very, very well. It also doesn't feel bad for me with where you're at either. I don't feel it as a have to. I feel it as a desire that feels very light and very fun and very exciting. I have been to Alabama and I do like the energy there. I will say that. Where do we need to go? Uh, Jules, what do the fairies think of the fairy gardens I've been making in my yard? Instantly, my mouth started salivating with the thought of cotton candy grapes. I don't know if there's cotton candy or sugar there, or grapes is as I feel like I've got to like and a grape in there. Very interesting. Very interesting, by the way. Fairies love having spaces, having that honor, that magical, that imaginative. Fairies love that energy, and a fairy would never say no thanks to a magical little garden. But I do feel like I've got to add a cotton candy grape. That is so funny. Um, Mandy, good morning. Lot of expressing some good, not so good, but it's my truth. And Mandy, I love how you worded that. And with some of the not so good needs to be released. And the one thing with holding on, and and we can release, especially when it comes to other people, we can release or share our feelings, or just release it to the universe exactly how the feelings are. And I love how you worded that. Some good, some not so good. And because in order to release something, we need to be able to acknowledge it. And pushing something down with, I don't want to express it, I don't want to really, it just becomes heavier and heavier, and the universe will always push you to let go. And that's why certain lessons will come up as a repeat lessons for people. That's why certain, the repeat, and it's because the universe is saying you don't need that anymore. It's time to express it. Mandy, I'm going to say something here I don't know if I've shared before or not. I've had many temper tantrums. I have had many temper tantrums. I have gone outside into my forest. I have stomped my feet. I have like hollered up like, what the heck? I have done okay. I don't understand it, but I want to move forward. I have had my own energetic temper tantrums. And then I've come back after my temper tantrum and I just sit and breathe and I feel a different energy flow through me. So Mandy, good for you for being able to verbalize that and being able to acknowledge that. Shannon, do you see my any career advancements for me? Shannon, I feel, and when I say the words study or education, that doesn't mean that you're going back to school for an extended period of time. I don't know if it's like a workshop or something part time. Where you're learning something new. I feel like something's coming in there with like a little shift or a little tweak in education, and I feel like that's going to literally push you in an advancement. And I feel like I've got to get you to kind of like take the first step and take that leap. And I feel like with that leap and with that push, and I also feel like I've got to acknowledge how well you've done in your current space. I feel like I've got to say you have done extremely well in your learning, in the growth. I feel like, and I get it. Time, we're so aware of it. Oh, I only have this, this much time left before retirement, or this much time. I feel like I've just got to bring you back to right now and giving yourself that push. I do. It does feel very good to me, but I just feel like there's something, just a piece. I don't feel it as like full time schooling. I just feel like just it's like I don't know if it's like one more a certificate or a workshop, or part time. I just feel like that's coming in there to help you with that. All right. Um, we threw the roses into the water of the inland waterway last night, and it brought I love that, the manatees out to play. I hope she tapped into that playful energy. Playful energy is just so much fun. That's what she said. Any messages for me, Lana? I really feel like I've got a smile so big that my cheeks hurt. I feel like I've got to really express that smile. I feel like, and it's not a fake smile. It's not that kind of energy. I feel like I've got to express, and that's what she said. I feel like I've got to kind of like allow yourself to have expression. So I don't know if you've been serious lately, or if expressing how you feel like with your face. And I feel like it's a smile. My cheeks literally hurt. Or if that's been something you've been doing, but I feel like I've got to express myself that way. Um, Shy says hi. She's busy doing something. Hi, Shy. Sandra. Hey, Lance, do my guides have any messages for me? Sandra, I feel this is kind of interesting. I feel a lot of in and out energy. So I feel a lot of like new people in, new people out. People coming in, people coming out. I feel that coming in it's a very good way. I don't have an issue with that feeling whatsoever. But I feel like I've got to just kind of open up to allow that, and I feel like that has to include spirit. I feel like I've got to become like just a little bit more of the allowing, a little bit more, and I feel like I've got to kind of get your body into it too. I feel like I have to sway a little bit more in and out. People come and go, spirit comes and go, learning comes and goes. Like I feel like I've got this coming and going thing that I've really got to harness. I hope that makes sense there for you. Um, See where we need to go. Spring. When you grow up in a home where there is no safe space to voice your feelings without someone getting mad, my journal was even read without my acknowledgement. It becomes difficult to voice yourself. So, Spring, I just want to kind of jump in on that comment. Absolutely, when we're not taught, or if it's not safe to speak, it does have a little bit of hold my breath vibration to it. I don't know if I can do that. It wasn't safe before. And what I really have to kind of remind you very, very lovingly is you're safe now. You're safe now. You've got community here that supports you, and you can have that privacy with yourself. Our thoughts and our feelings, we don't necessarily, it helps to write them down, but if that's something that we struggle with feeling safe to do that, we can still have moments where we talk to a pet, talk to the sky, talk to a tree. We can shift and learn that well, there is safety now. That I am safe now. I can work through that, and I feel like you've done very, very well with that. And I feel like I've got to acknowledge that. I feel like your spiritual growth has been huge, and this is just one more step. This is just one more step, and I do, and I get it. And there are some times where my gut feeling will say, um, not safe, not safe to express that here. And it's okay. I'll just go express it somewhere else, or I'll come to my heart space and I'll feel into it. But sometimes, and it's okay, people truly don't have to get it, and we don't truly have to care. Right. I come across that quite often with my mediumship. Sometimes it's just not safe to say what I even do. Right. But it's okay. Right. It's okay. I can find that safe space. So finding that safe space. Um, Listening to you while I walked this morning, needed some air and releasing walk. Maybe need a foot stomp tantrum, smiling. It does feel good. So it does feel good to unleash that inner child and have a temper tantrum, or that adult version of you that needs to have a temper tantrum. It just helps let it go. It helps to hear it. It helps to physically leave our body. We and I've talked about this before about having things leave our body. We need to have that energy leave our body. Travis, if there's a spirit teaching that is sorry, if there's a spirit teaching that is common, but I don't resonate on it, how do I release that when most others believe in it? I struggle with this as I learn. Also, any messages from my guides. So I just want to have a reread on that, but I don't resonate with it. So, Travis, you don't have to resonate with anybody else, right? It's your truth, and but you also need to put down that that's what they resonate with. That's what they resonate. So that respect goes both ways. Um, we are here to learn. This is the foundation of why we came here. We came here to learn, and we can choose because we have choice and free will. We can choose on if we're gonna learn or not. We can choose what resonates with you and what doesn't resonate with you, and other people have that same choice. So the respect that we expect is the respect that we also have to give to other people with what resonates with them. I also feel, Travis, and I just want to put this out there. The repeat lessons do continue to come back. We do different theme, different people, different lessons until we kind of have our own aha moment. And we don't have to believe anything. And I mean, that's one of the things I'm very firm on. People don't have to resonate with me. I'm here. I'm happy to grow collectively. I'm also willing and open to hear what other people have to say, and it doesn't have to resonate with me. I'm happy that people have their own, whether it be faith or belief systems or their own learning. I hold the space with that without any judgment, and I do put that out, for myself as well. And I do feel that I get mutual respect with that kind of energy that I put out. Um, I struggle with this as I learn. So, one thing that you really kind of have to think about, Travis, is when you put out the energy that you would like from other people, like whether it be respect my beliefs but I'm open to hear. And I truly do love to hear about other people's belief systems. I love to hear it. I think what other people, believe in, or what other people resonate with. I find it very interesting. It's a part of them. And I just stay in my lane with it if I don't resonate with it. If people ask me what I think, and then I may share, and I always get back what I give. So I think, Travis, when you kind of look at that, you would want respect for your belief systems or your desires or your preferences. And that's kind of the energy that you put out. We don't have to pick up everything that somebody says. If it's their truth, great. If it's not, if you share that truth, great. But we don't have why pick up everything that's put in front of us? And I think, mm, I'm just having a listen with spirit. I think that's, kind of sometimes why we get confused in what we want or in what we believe, because we're so busy picking up everything. And the physical world is always like trying to pull us in this way and pull us in that way and pull us in this way. Pick up this, believe this. Come back to your heart space and just hold mutual respect for other people. It's that and spirit's like it's that simple. It's and there and I love that perspective, and always open mind, open heart, and holding that space, right? Especially when it's all things love, right? All right. Um, It's always a journey to communicate when privacy boundaries didn't exist when you were young. I understand how that feels, Spring. Every feeling shared is a step towards healing. Absolutely. And I also feel that we can recreate a different energy. Our experiences, yes, our experiences, and I have taken this to spirit on my own personal stuff. We all have a story, including me, right? So I have taken this to spirit many times for my own, and that's a really good thing that you can do, is Spring, or anybody, is take it to spirit and work on the healing. But I also feel that with forward momentum, we find new safe spaces. We recreate boundaries, and we kind of, we're responsible for our own healing. We're responsible for our own going forward in it, right? We're responsible for learning in different ways. That becomes part of our journey and part of our learning and part of our lessons, and it gets us where we need to go. And even though, we look back and think, well, that was really hard when I was a kid. We have to kind of work on the healing now and the going forward now. And that's been huge. That's been huge for me. It's been huge for most of my clients that have sat with that. It's all about, recreating and rebuilding and healing and loving ourselves and the forward momentum. Okay. Um, My husband has told me previously, when I'm mad, go outside and scream and stomp my feet. I don't do it, although I should. Okay, Wesley. Lana, can you tell me who my guides are? Um, Wes, I will spend a moment on that. I also feel like I've got to push you into practicing sitting with your spirit guides. The guide that I feel that's working with you the most right now, because we all have quite a few spirit guides. They do come and go. The guide that I feel that's working with you right now has come in the last 4 months, and I feel like my legs are becoming very, very strong, and this spirit guide is working on strength with you and giving back your power to stand strong, to stand on your own 2 feet, to stand and move forward. And I can see like big Roman pillars as legs. So I don't there's probably like an ancient Rome connection here, or energy, but it's the pillars of the standing in the strength of your own. And I can feel your own legs and your own spiritual self getting stronger and stronger and stronger. I also feel like I've got to peek out a little bit, Wes. I feel like the spirit guide is teaching you to peek out a little bit of the retreat that you kind of been in, like retreat back in, retreat back in. I feel like I've got my head peeking out. I'm gonna peek out a little bit. So Wes, I would practice that, like, put a blanket over you and just kind of practice peeking out and really tap into the energy that's in your legs. You are stronger than you think, and you're stronger than you give yourself credit for. I can literally feel my legs as big as pillars. That strength, that size, and it's the strength there. I hope that resonates there. Okay, Rachel, are there any messages from my guides, words of advice, encouragement that they have for me would be appreciated? It's a tough time later in June due to loss of loved ones. Rachel, I really feel that spiritually I need to acknowledge your growth. I feel like in the last year or so there has been this big expansion with you, and this different awareness with losses of loved ones, and things that you've shifted within yourself, because I can see the pointing towards you. I feel like I've got to acknowledge that you have done very, very, very well. I also feel like, what do you, I'm not sure what it's called, when you have that rope and you kind of lasso something. I feel like that's something that you're doing, like you're going after with what you want. And I love how spirit showed me that. I feel like when you're ready, you're gonna go for it. And that's kind of how it feels. And it feels more of that spiritual growth. It feels more, and I also have a very, very loving mother energy with me. So mom, mother figure, grandmother, that's holding you up as you learn through this. I also feel like I've got to um walk into, like, like a lake or a pool, and I feel like I've got to, like, dive in. Like, I feel like I've got to, like, just kinda dive in, or just even kinda, like, go down into the water, and, when you come back up, when you kind of, like, see the top of the water coming back up, or you feel yourself coming back up in the water, I feel like it's that big breath of air in, and that cleansing is kind of what you've been working through, and under the water can be, like, darker, and spirit's just showing me this, like, knowing you're you're underwater or your eyes are closed and you come up. I feel like I've got to practice that because I don't know if you've been um with thoughts of it's never going to get easier, I'm never going to feel better, it's never going to get lighter, and I feel like I'm coming up out of a dark. That's how I feel like I'm coming out. I feel like I'm coming out and like of that space of that not being able to breathe, and as I channel that I can feel myself taking that breath in. And sometimes, and Rachel, I feel with you that doing an act like that really helps shift versus just listening. Sometimes we can listen, you can listen to 2000 podcasts and it may not shift you. But and I feel that if I can get you to do that, if I get you to do that, it will help you move forward. It will help you take that big breath in. It'll help you see that light. Rachel, oh, that's spooky in a good way. I've been told my great grandmother's always with me. I suffer from anxiety, but have really been to can trying to be kinder to myself. Breathing exercise is a part of my calming down routine. Thanks. That's great. Thank you so much. Rachel, so if you can get yourself, and it doesn't have to be, today or tomorrow, but maybe over the summer, if you can get yourself to that space, or even just practice it without water, you know how you just kind of go, hold your breath and then open your eyes and come up like you're taking that big breath of air in. That might help you. That might help you tap into, there's light at the end of the tunnel. There's that energy there. And I'm grateful that you are aware that your great grandmother's always with me. She feels very, very, very motherly. I'm a little bit surprised that she's a great grand, like I felt it. I just felt her more of a closer generational connection, but the motherly I just feel she's so, so, so supportive, and such a strong energy there. So I'm grateful that you are aware. Um, I gotta watch the time, you guys. Okay, what time is it? Okay, a few more minutes. Let's see where we need to go. Thanks, Wes Lasso. Um, Cheyenne. Happy Monday, Lana. By chance, do my ancestors and guides have a message for me this week? Cheyenne, what's really interesting is I see a deck of cards, like playing cards. And I feel and I don't play cards, so I don't know any card games. So you might have to help me out with what I'm seeing. I'm not a card player at all. I can barely play crazy eights. So, or even go fish. Like I'm not a card player. So when you shuffle a deck and you always get a variety, I feel like I've got to play with some variety. I feel like I've got to like just I don't know why I have to shuffle things up as well. So I don't know if things have been kind of like the same suit for you for a while, if things have been kind of like the same, but I feel like I've got to shuffle and I feel like I've got to like allow what comes out of that shuffle to explore. Like I feel like I've got to look at it from more of a playful perspective. So my question to you, Cheyenne, is have you been serious lately? If so, I got to get you to shuffle it up, and perhaps and spirits being a little bit interesting this morning with being able to actually like practice that. I'm going to shuffle it up. I'm going to change it up. I'm going to get a little bit more playful. I feel like if they're trying to get you to kind of tap into that a little bit more, and I also this is quite funny. So sometimes we do feel like like the Queen of Hearts, and sometimes we do feel that power, and sometimes we've got to laugh like the Joker. And I know that I know, and I don't know if maybe cards resonate with you, or if there's an ancestor that was really into cards, and I feel it as a fun thing. I don't feel it as I feel like it's a fun thing with the cards. I feel like I've got to get you to like shuffle it up and shake it up and allow yourself to have moments where you're the Queen of Hearts and have moments where you can laugh it off and just kind of be a joker. I hope that resonates there for you. It could be my grandmother, says Rachel, on my father's side. It's sweet to know if she's around me. Rachel, when you asked me that, I just asked for a little bit of validation. Can you tell me what the significance of July is for you? Significant anniversary, birthday, or passing? I also am in November. Either of those months resonate there for you. Let me know. Shy, I recently walked away from an 8-year relationship, and I'm trying to find a way to get on my feet and become more stable and secure. I love Alice in Wonderland. Oh, I love that. Wonderful. So I am not here on Wednesday. So I pushed the time as long as I possibly could today. So we've spent almost 40 minutes together. So I do have to get going. Let's see what number we need to sit with for some guidance this week. 324. It's a bit of a long one. You stand shoulder to shoulder with benevolent guardian angels, archangels, and ascended masters, surrounded by such powerful divine love. You can feel certain of a positive outcome in all situations. I just want to elaborate on that. We do stand shoulder to shoulder with our guardian angels, our archangels, ascended masters, our loved ones in the spirit dimensions. They are that close. They are literally, the spirit dimensions are literally that close to us. They're not way over here. They're literally that close. Walk with them this week. I love that message. Walk a little closer, feel them a little closer, bring them in a little closer. They are that close to us, you guys. Oh, I just dropped the moon. There's my moon. All right. Let's just pull our intentions in on what we need to know. Hedgehog. No matter what's going on for you right now, do your absolute best to enjoy your life. Retreat from the usual routines for a day or two as a way of refreshing your body and spirit. This is a very fertile and creative time for you, so express yourself artistically in some enjoyable way. You have a powerful connection with ancient goddesses, energy, whether you're male or female. Work directly with the earth by doing some planting and gardening at your first opportunity. This is a good time to honor your natural curiosity and satisfy it by following any whims, intuitive leads, or inner promptings that occur. I love that. I love that so much. Aaron, we don't often learn how close they are. That's unreal. They are very close. The spirit dimensions are not far away. They are in a different dimension, but they are very, very close and they walk with us. And, let's remember, spirit wants to help us. They truly do want to help us. They want to guide us. They want us to lean in. They're there to help us. They want to help. We have the choice and free will on whether or not we want to lean in. Um, and I've never had spirit say to me, I don't know why I have to say this. Maybe somebody's got a question along this line. Um, they're always there for us, and it's okay if it's okay to lean in. So we're never bothering them. We're never, I'll say, why didn't you ask your guides? And people will say, oh, I don't want to bother them with that. Ask your guides. They want to help. They're there to help. They're there to guide. We are here on a journey, and we have choice and free will on leaning into that, right? And they're never upset if we ask, and they're never upset if we don't. It's our learning, right? Our spirit council comes to help, but it's our learning, and we're responsible for that. We're responsible for our own learning. Enjoy the week. I will be here Friday. Wait, yes, I'm here Friday. I'm here Friday. I'd ask myself. We'll do a little bit of Ask the Medium and we'll check in and we'll talk a little bit. I have that stumbling block. Don't like it bothering the guides for help. All right, so I'm just going to say something here. Okay, so I've got a few of you that are feeling that. Okay, so I want to ask you guys. Just got to watch the time. I want to ask you guys, why don't you ask for help? And is this something that you're like in your regular life as well? Do you hesitate to reach out for help? And I'd like to, and if yes, I would like to know why. I would like to know why. Is it a worthiness? I'm going to give you a minute to answer that. Human programming. Rewire that human programming. Yes, for me, it's worthlessness, confidence issue. Taught to handle it yourself. Taught to handle it yourself. I don't want to be a burden. Yes, it's my pride. Tropical Empress and Spirit. I love that name, by the way. Hello, darling. All right, interesting. So, Aaron, ADHD means I've never been able. Okay, listen, I want I want you to feel that. I want you to feel that. So the angels and guides, and and feel sign of weakness. Lots of old programming here. So I want you to just let's just chat about this. I love this. I can't end the stream yet. I want to talk about this. I want you to sit that for a minute. I want so and let's just talk to a spirit guide or an archangel. Let's talk to Archangel Michael. Let's just ask him. So do you think any of the archangels, higher ascended masters, angels and guides, spirit animals would say, "Oh, Lana, you're bothering me right now. You're on your own." And I say that with a chuckle. Spirit wants to help us. They want to guide us. And it is not a sign of weakness. It's actually flip that. It's a sign of spiritual strength. I gotta flip that. You're strong enough to ask for help and guidance. It's a spirit, it's a spiritual connection. They connect to you, they come to you. So if they're coming to you, if you have a spirit council, if you agree that we have them here to help us, they want to help us. They want our learning and our physical world experience to be soul growing. They want that for us. They love us so much. They want to walk with us. It's the same thing with our loved ones. When your loved ones were, were here, for the most part, some of us have different relationships, but for the most part, they wanted us to be okay, and they were doing their best to help us from where they were standing too. Our spirit guides want to help us. They give us the choice and free will of accepting that help. It's the same thing if I was to say to Fran, I'm going to come over and help you purge and clean your house up. And Fran says, "No, Lana, don't come over." I'm going to say, "Okay, I offered. I offered to help." It's the same thing with spirit. They offer us to help. Now, when we look into as a weakness, that is physical world. That is our physical world experience. We are programmed and taught things that don't hold a lot of truth in the spirit dimensions. Now, I also want to soften that by saying for many of us, not all of us, but for many of us, the things that we were taught to us by people who were doing the best from where we were standing. The world was very different 60, 70, 80 years ago on how we viewed things and what we knew. Even go back 200 years ago, it was very different. And every generation has done some form of learning to help the next, some form of growth to help the next. 100% they weren't perfect. All right. We're not perfect. I have not been. I'll put my hand up. I have not been perfect. I have messed up. I have had to heal and work on things, and spirit supports us in that. When it comes to physical world programming, it's up to us as an individual to interrupt that thought and say, you know what, I am worthy, and I'm strong enough to ask for help. I take everything to spirit. I am at council almost every day. I sit with spirit on almost every decision. And it may not be long periods of time. I'll just simply look up, ask my question, get my answer. I lean in all the time. And I've never had spirit say, "Oh, Lana, figure it out on your own. You're following us." I have had them say, "Look for the learning." I've had them say, we're holding your hand while you go through this." I have had them give me advice, and I have the choice and free will on whether or not I want to take it. But and I've had them say, "Yeah, you're going through this, and lean on us for support because it's going to be a bumpy ride. This is part of your learning." Absolutely. And I have frowned, I have kicked and screamed, but they're always there to support us through that. The physical world BS and the physical world programming, we have to do our part on untangling that. And we also, let's talk about this. As we learn and as we get wiser, and as we kind of process through that, why wouldn't we want help and support? Why wouldn't we? Why wouldn't we want our guides to help us? Right? It's a sign of strength to lean in for help. It's a sign of strength. And I've always had spirits offer, "I'll help you with that. Want me to hold that for you?" Spirit has, and there was that. I'll share very quickly. Um, there was something that I was working really hard on letting go, and I didn't have any closure or understanding. I could not get my head wrapped around that. Right? I could not get my head on why. Um, and spirit literally said to me, "Give it to us. You're choosing to hold on to it. give it to us. And when I did, it was like probably the biggest shift in my personal healing when I said, okay, I'm gonna I allow that help in. We have to allow that help in, right? Whether it be from physical world people or from the spirit dimensions. We have to allow that help. And and it's not a sign of weakness to say, can you help me walk through that? Can you hold my hand? Sometimes we're afraid to get hurt from people. What if the experience happens again? I don't want to be judged. That's all physical world BS. That's all physical world programming, right? Yeah. I also feel that there are very safe spaces to do that. Yeah, I get it. I get it. Look, you can't ask all physical people in your life for help, but there are some, right? There are some. We have a whole community here. We have a whole community here that is safe and loving that we can vent or share. Everybody here will walk with each other, right? I'll walk with you, beside you. Spirit will walk beside you. And just something as simple as come with me today. I say that all the time. Bring your guides with you. Bring them with you, bring them with you, bring them with you. If magic occurs, I'm not kidding you. Bring them with you. Bring them with you. You don't have to know their names. You don't have to, put down the need to know. Open your vehicle door, reach out and hold their hand. Just simply ask them if you could come with me today. I'd be grateful. Anyway, you guys, I'm very passionate about that. I'm very passionate about the spirit guides because I have learned so much and my life has been literally shifted. Like I have transformed in ways that I can't even express. There's almost no words to express that change. And it's because I work with them. They are part of who I am. They come with me and they help me. All right. How beautiful. I love hearing your story. Thank you, Keila. Bring them with you. I bring mine everywhere. So I'm going to, my daughter's ball game this afternoon. I am going to bring my spirit guides to sit and cheer with me. I literally bring them everywhere I go. Everywhere I go. Come with, they're like my best friends. Talk to them in my head sometimes. I do. Right. So anyway, have a beautiful week. I've pushed it as far as I can push the timelines. I'm just so passionate about the angels and guides piece. It has literally changed my life. It has also helped me with my mediumship. My spirit guides have helped me with my mediumship. I love it so much. As always, I'm wishing you. I might even look at the chat because if I look at the chat, I'm gonna see something there that I'm gonna want to answer. I'm wishing you love, light, blessings, and have a spirit guided day. Take care, you guys. I love you all.